Hello, Infiniteers. I had a little extra time available to me today, so I thought that I would start the build for my Hidden Worlds toy box that I showed you last time, and I would start it early instead of waiting until Friday. So today I'm going to start showing you how to build that, and this is a pretty easy build. There's not much logic to it, so if you are new to Disney Infinity, this is a good toy box to start with. Now I'm going to begin by building the base terrain for this little world, and then I'll build the mountains surrounding Rapunzel's tower. That's my goal for today. And as we get started, the first thing I want to do is put down the power disc for Rapunzel's birthday sky. And let me put that down. That's the disc that's shown here on your screen. And if you do not have this power disc, that's okay. This is just for the nice little sky change feature that we're going to put in at the end. If you don't have this power disc, you don't need that feature. But if you have it, this is a good opportunity to use it. And I want the castle to be over that way, so when the player enters the toy box, I want them facing that direction. So I'm going to spin that start pad around. Okay? And then I'm going to put down the sky changer, and we're going to set this to be the Dragon's Domain sky. So under Disney Infinity, the Dragon's Flight sky. That's what we want to use, and I'll take that disc off my base. Alright, so now we have the orientation of the toy box that we want. We're done with the sky changer for now. Now the next thing I'm going to do is put down the power disc for Rapunzel's Kingdom. This is the terrain customization power disc. And I do not want to switch the entire world to that theme. If you do not have this power disc, then you can use any grassy terrain theme that you want. I'm going to use this one because I have the disc and it fits the theme. So Rapunzel's Kingdom. The other option is you can wait until the build is all done and then use the toy dispenser to get it. And I've showed you how to do that in previous episodes in this series. Okay, so as we get started, let's go up to the terrain category. And I'm going to drop down, well, let's see, let's put it over here on the back side of this. No particular reason. But place this here, and then we'll move the start pad over here and delete this big piece of terrain. Okay, so what we have now is that. And then we'll go to the next size larger. We're going to drop this in here just like this. We're going to put down a few of these in the pattern that you see there. Okay. Then we'll come back over and come back to the start over here. We'll put this next one up here like this. And we'll put these along here. What I'm doing is putting the base of the terrain down for the forest where we start. Okay, so this will end up being the chasm or the canyon with the dam. The river or the lake that goes around the castle is going to be over here. Rapunzel's tower is going to be back over here. Okay, so this gives you an idea of where we're going with this. And let's go ahead and scroll over to the right, and we'll grab a few of the pieces that we're going to need. I figure if I do this now, I can scroll back over here later. Or I don't have to scroll back over here later, I can just pick the pieces up that I need and put them in. Alright, so we're going to place this one here. We want to make this look like an island floating in the sky. We have some nice terrain pieces here to help us with that, so that the edges aren't square. So we're going to put this little one here, and we can pick up this piece, put it back, drop that over here, pick that piece up to get back to this part of the drawer, and we're going to put in a little nice rounded edge on the end over here. Okay. And then we'll come back around over here. We're going to pick this piece up, put it back. We're going to put 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. And then let's pick this piece back up once again, put it back. We'll grab this piece, put kind of a nice finishing edge on the end of this, like so. Grab the small one, put that here. And then we're going to scroll over to the right. There's some water around Rapunzel's tower. So we want to grab this lake piece here and use this for that. We're going to drop this in here just like that. There. And we're going to put this piece in here to kind of plug that gap that we're going to have underneath the cliff. Okay. All right, so there is what we have for that. Okay. And we'll continue building the rest of the world off in that direction in stages as we go. But this gives us the opening forest, the area where Rapunzel's tower stands, and the edge of the canyon where the dam is. All right, at this point, we're going to come over here, and let me pull up my screen grab here to make sure I put in the details right. All right. So over on this end, and I'm looking at this, and what I'm seeing is a little problem here. Hang on. 2, 3, 4. Oh no, that's right. I'm all right. I was looking at this from the wrong angle. Hate when that happens. All right, let's pick this piece up. Get back to that part of the drawer a little more quickly. We're going to go left. And I'm looking for these mountain peak pieces. Not that, not that. This one. And I want to set this down on top of this. Like that. Okay, so it's sitting right on top of that terrain block that I put in there. And we're going to change the theme on this now, because that looks kind of weird with the flowers on the side of it for the area around Rapunzel's tower. That doesn't really match the movie. So we're going to change the theme to use Dragon's Domain. I'll set that to be my theme. All right. That gives us the rocky look. That looks a little bit better. And then we will pick up the next one over. We're going to drop this down and put that right there like that. And then I want to pick this up, put that back to get back to this part of the drawer. I want to drop down a terrain block, and this is going to line up with the edge of that part of the wall right there. Okay? And then we'll put down another one. And what we're doing is kind of framing in the valley that goes around Rapunzel's tower. Because as you remember in the movie, that was kind of hidden. So we're putting this in, and it looks a little square now, but we're going to add some things to this to make it a little bit more visually interesting here in a moment. The other thing we had in the valley that was not in Mighty Jidas's original toy box, because she did not have the building piece for this in 1.0, is kind of the canopy of ivy that covers the entrance to the valley. And if you come into Building Sets Group 1 and you go to the left, you find the treehouse pieces. And we have a piece in here that perfectly fits what we want for that. And it's this treehouse hidden door. We're going to drop this right in here just like that. Okay? And I personally think that is just the coolest thing, to be able to walk through that just like you could in the movie, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in the valley where Rapunzel's tower is. That's pretty neat. All right, just kind of looking at the build for this. I think the next step that we want to do, let me come back over here. I want to pick this piece up and put it back. Get back to that part of the drawer. We're going to go left. And there's some building pieces here that we're going to use to kind of soften the edges of this and also give the player a way to multiple ways to climb up and over into this valley. If you blocked the valley off so it only came through here, that would be kind of bad for gameplay, especially if you wanted to come in here and play with another player, kind of battle your way around the toy box and use it as a battle arena. Right, so we're going to drop this piece right on top of the hidden door, just like that. And then we're going to come over here and drop another one, like so. This one will drop in over here. We'll go over to the left. We'll put this one around the front edge of this. We'll put some up on the top. It's making this look a little more rocky now, isn't it? And I kind of like that. That will help a lot, and we'll end up later on covering this with some trees to kind of hide the fact that we still have some flat surfaces in here. That'll cover up the fact that there's a little cave here that leads into the valley. You can climb over through here, and so on. So I like that. Okay, and then we're going to come over to this end. Let me get back to my screen grab here. And let's pick up this piece and put it back. Gets us back to that part of the terrain drawer. Saves us a lot of scrolling. We're going to put this really thin terrain piece up here like this. And the reason we're going to do that is just to kind of plug a little gap here that we're making for the cliff pieces. We'll scroll over to the left now and get those. So what we're going to do is line this up with the back edge of that block we just put down, just like you see there. And we're going to drop that in there just like that. And then on this side, we're going to put one of those down. Put one on this end, like so. Okay? And so what we have now is kind of a little inset into that cliff. And a flat area where the player can grab hold of that thing and get up here. Okay? And looks like we have a little bit of a gap under there, so let's go ahead and plug that gap. So now I see rock when I look through there. Okay, and we'll pick this piece up, put it back, and then we're going to grab this cliff corner, and we're going to kind of enclose in the valley here. Like that. Oops, wrong way. Come over here and put another one of these in right on the corner. Just like that. Put this in here like that. Okay. And then we'll put one of these, over here like this. So that kind of frames in the valley. And that's starting to look pretty good. And we're going to put the waterfall right here. So before we do that though, let's grab this building piece, put that back. And we're going to come over and pick up this piece. And I want to put this in. Actually, it's going to be this over here. Is that right? Hang on a second. Yeah, that's right. Because this is the piece we need up here. And then we'll put this waterfall end on the front of that. Just like that. Okay, so there's the waterfall coming into the valley. We'll put those pieces down like that. And I think we had, yeah, the next size larger sits in here like this. And we'll pick this piece up, put it back, we'll grab the next size smaller, drop that in there, like that. And we're going to temporarily set the theme here. I'm not going to set the theme, I'm just going to apply this to that one single piece. I'm going to leave the terrain theme set to the dragon's sky. And then we're going to put a line of cliffs down the front edge of that. Okay, so there's the valley and some mountains behind Rapunzel's tower. And I like that a lot. Okay, now, as I'm looking at my screen grab here, we're going to come over here, and I want to go over to the basic blocks. We're going to drop this in as a spacer. Okay, that's just temporary. Then we're going to go up to set pieces, and I want to grab the Matterhorn. This is a very nice decorative piece that will sit right up here, and we're going to orient it like that. And I like that because we have the water then going up even further than just here. So it looks like we have a nice peak up on top of that. It's just a really good decorative piece that extends the height of that waterfall. And I like that a lot. Okay, and then we're going to put a few more peaks in here. And just trying to get to my screen grab here. All right, let's grab this piece again. pick that up and put it back to get back to that part of the drawer. And we're going to drop this piece just like that. Okay. So what I've done is lined up the flat edge of the Matterhorn as close as I can with that little piece on the edge of this right there. So hopefully you can kind of see that. And then we'll grab this piece. That one, or let's see, which one did I use? Oh, it might have been one of these. Yeah, this one actually sits over here, so let's go ahead and drop that in. Nope, it's this one. Trying to look at my screen grabs and figure out exactly what I dropped in here. All right, so this is the one we had. And this sits up here just like that. And did I put another one of those in there? Is that what I did? Oh, this is the one. Okay. That's the one we put in here. And we're going to back this up a little bit and drop this right about like that. Just a little bit forward so that it's hanging over the edge onto this piece below. And I'm just double checking to make sure. Yes, that is exactly where I placed that. I wanted to make sure this wasn't lined up perfectly with the edge of this. It's sitting back. And the reason why the placement of that is so important is because when we connect the rail slide later on from here, we want to make sure we come off the rail slide right onto the peak here. So that's why that's so important. Okay, so there we have the area around Rapunzel's tower. Now we can come in here and actually drop the tower. And you find this under Set Pieces once you've unlocked it. There's Rapunzel's tower. And we're going to set this oriented like that, up against that little rock there on the right, and about like that. Okay, so there's the tower now, hidden in that area. I think that looks just really cool. So now when you come over here, you got all these things. We're going to have some trees covering up some of this stuff. And you happen to stumble upon this, and you go inside, and here's the valley with Rapunzel's tower. And that is pretty cool. Well, I think that's a good stopping point for today. Next time, I will build the Snuggly Duckling and the canyon with the dam. Until then, I want to thank you for watching, and if you're enjoying my remakes of classic toy boxes, and you'd like to see more toy boxes like this, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment to let me know. That's all for me today. Take care.